Happy New Year, everyone. It's your pal Douglas here at Drownway Productions bringing you another holiday haul video. We haven't really done many of these before, if any, but I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a look at the things that I received this year for Christmas. Some of these items were received by friends in the community, and some of these pieces were received by close personal friends and or family. But, regardless of who it came from, we're going to go ahead and take a look at these items because I love them all. And as is the nature of my videos, we have to start off by completely bamboozling you and showing you something that has nothing to do with today's video. So we're actually going to take a look at something I picked up for someone else for Christmas. This is something that just came in, that's why they don't already have it, but I thought it would be something cool to also show you all real quick before I ship it out and it's gone forever. Here we have an incredibly old and I guess incredibly rare Keith Ward Topstone clown mask. This is a piece that I spotted on eBay. It popped up, looked very old and very cool, and I recognized that it was a Keith Ward piece but really didn't know much of anything about it. I'm not a huge Topstone collector. I do love the masks, but I don't know much about like prices, what's considered incredibly rare, that kind of thing. I just saw this as a really cool old mask and decided to pick it up for my friend Justin Mabry as a Christmas gift. And it just so happened that this is a piece that is not only something Justin did want, it's pretty sought after by Topstone collectors, I guess, and if you guys haven't heard the wonderful news, Trick or Treat Studios recently purchased Don Post, Topstone, Elusive Concepts, and The Great Cover-Up. So technically, I believe Justin, as well as the rest of Trick or Treat Studios, owns the rights to this mask. So kind of funny how that works out, but I just wanted to show you guys because it's a really, really cool old school mask, and it also shows you how basic and simple these old school masks really were. Now on to the cool stuff that I received. I think we're going to go ahead and start with what came in last. This was something that came completely out of the blue, as most of these packages do, from Mr. Samir Ghazi. I'm not the only one to benefit from his kindness. He has sent some incredibly thoughtful and nice gifts to many people in the community, and today we had some that I had no clue were on the way. But they're pieces that I don't own, and I kind of want to go ahead and talk about them now so I can get them out of here immediately. You're all probably very confused, understandably, but let's go ahead and take a look at what Samir sent. Starting off with the less problematic item out of what he sent me. This definitely is not the main draw of the package, but I do want to go ahead and mention this first and get it out of the way. Samir sent an SXD voice changer. If you do not know, this is roughly the same kind of voice changer that was used in some of the previous Scream films, but more accurately, this is the same kind that was used in Scream 2022. However, the actual model is a white model. This one is blue. Sometimes if you order from the eBay links trying to get one of the white ones, they'll accidentally send you a blue one. And I guess that's what happened with Samir here, so he sent me this for free. So technically there are two of these, and they're kind of the same thing, but different packaging styles. And I actually did not know that it was different packaging styles. I initially thought that he had sent me one that was completely brand new sealed, as well as one that had been opened. But that is not the case, apparently. So, first up here we have the incredibly elusive Ghostface Collector's Edition costume. They did not make many of these. I don't think were received too well, because the entire costume is made out of that same kind of awful gauze-like material that appeared on the Collector's Edition masks, the same ones that cause blue dots, and just overall, if you've ever seen that material or felt it, it is incredibly fragile. More fragile than old school cotton, so this stuff just gets ripped and torn and just kind of disintegrates and breaks down just super easy. So I don't think these were favored too much, but nonetheless it makes for an incredibly hard to find costume. And here we have a brand new sealed one. As for the manufacturing dates on this, it is April to June 2011. And looking at the mask inside, it doesn't seem to be incredibly stained up, but it does have some like brown stains on the forehead, which is kind of odd, but overall, this is your sealed package. And I mentioned a separate package variant. Apparently, in Kmart, they sold them like this. The entire robe just hanging freely with this insert over the front, and you have the mask bagged on the back. Very peculiar. I did not think that that was the case, but according to Samir, they did sell them like this. Maybe that is the case, maybe not, but it absolutely does have prices not only on the costume insert here, but where was it? Here we go. There actually is a tag on the robe itself that actually just says $40. It doesn't necessarily say anything about Fun World or Scream Costume, but it has the same price printed there. So kind of interesting. I don't know why they necessarily skipped out on the plastic bags, and it seems with these being so fragile that would be a problem, but this one seems to be in pretty good shape. I don't see too many loose threads, if any at all. I know that Samir had a couple of these, so maybe he found some new old stock and that would explain the great condition. But the weirdest thing about this, I have seen many collector's edition costumes that do have an EU mask with the same collector's edition type material as a bib. They're usually the most stained up and most affected by the blue dot masks out there. At least some of the worst cases I've ever seen were on those masks. However, I've never seen this before. This one has an ultra white mask with the same collector's edition style material on the shroud there, or on the bib. It's not a full shroud, but you can definitely see it. I know you can tell what I'm talking about. That is just incredibly odd, but this thing is also pretty cool. Alright, next up we have some gifts that are kind of a little difficult to talk about, but I'm just going to just talk about, I guess, directly what they are. These are pieces that were gifted to me kind of directly from Billy, but also these came from Amanda, my friend Billy Ballou, who passed away recently. It came from his widow. She sent these over because Billy was in the process of working on these for me when he passed and never had the opportunity to finish them and send them over. So she sent these over on her own as a Christmas gift, and I greatly appreciate it, but we're going to go ahead and take a quick look at those. I unfortunately don't know the full details on this figure. I guess that's kind of how it is with a majority of these. This is the only one he actually showed me. The others were gifts that were going to be surprises. But I guess he was working on a custom of me. It was supposed to be me, but he didn't have the chance to fully finish it. But I did see progress pictures of it when he started on it. And it's a pretty cool pop. It does not have my facial hair and stuff, but he had definitely started on it. This next one, yet again, I don't know the full story on this. If it's a recognizable character and I'm just not getting it, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. But I think maybe he intended this to also kind of be a custom of me, but in Cenobite form. Here we have a pretty cool unfinished pop. As you can tell, some of the sculpture work that he was working on wasn't even able to be finished. But it's still a really, really cool looking pop, and I'll put it with the rest of the ones that he's gifted me. And as for the last one, this is the one that I think actually was complete. Here we have what I like to call Flashback Jack. We have the Jack Torrance pop, and he's repainted it, or this may actually be a full custom now that I'm thinking about it, because it looks like it may be Jack's head but a different body. But it's him in the photo, of course, waving. So really, really cool piece. I do have the normal Jack as well, so I'll be sure to put this next to it. And I guess this may be a note that he put on it whenever he was leaving his last notes for these. Receiving stuff like this from a friend after they've passed is incredibly difficult, but I do greatly appreciate the fact that he took the time to work on something like this for me, and I will give them a good home here, and I appreciate you sending them over, Amanda. I guess this is in here, so I'll go ahead and mention it too. It technically was a Christmas gift. My friend Damien gave me this, the Grady Twins Toonie Terrors. I have been eyeing these for years. I've picked them up, walked around the store with them, almost bought them, and decided against it many times. As you all know, of course, I do love The Shining, so I'm very, very happy to add this to the collection. And he also did give me another Toonie Terrors Ghostface. I also received a couple of vinyl records as gifts this year. Music is one of the greatest gifts you can give someone if you're unsure of what to give. And I received some pretty awesome ones. I got one of the limited edition Halloween Ends records from my friend Colton. Gavin got me the Munsters, I think the original TV soundtrack version. It's a black and orange splatter, really beautiful vinyl. And my friend Dylan got me the new Rammstein album, which is incredibly impressive. I also did receive a copy of the Halloween trilogy from my friend Talon, so that's pretty awesome. But one of my favorite gifts, and what is probably the coolest gift, not to usurp any of these other amazing gifts that people have given me, but it's just special to me because of how long I've looked for this specific item. My dad hasn't contributed a bunch of stuff to the collection, but he wanted to get me something really cool for the collection this year. This is something I've been after for years now, and he managed to find it for an incredible, incredible price. And then, as fate would have it, I actually found the very same thing for pretty much the same price and bought it unknowingly. The one that he gave me is not framed, and the one that I purchased first is framed, so I guess we'll go ahead and take a look at that one, but you get the point, there's two of them. As you all know, Wes Craven is incredibly important to me. He has made some of my favorite films of all time, and this particular poster is something I've been looking for a long time. I've wanted to have something signed by Wes that I could have other cast and crew members sign. I do have one mask signed by him, which is amazing. I'm really happy to have that. But I wanted to have something I could have many other people sign, and here we have what I would guess is probably one of the best opportunities you're going to get for something like that. Because most of the stuff signed by Wes that I've seen pop up is typically, at least when it's Scream related, typically 8x10s, or smaller posters. These, however, were a limited edition, one of 1,600. You guys already know what I'm talking about. This poster was released as a Scream 3 promotional item. They were not given away. Well, there were a few places that did host giveaways for them, but they were not like free promotional items. You did have to buy them. And they were actually pretty limited. They only did 1,600 of them, which sounds like a lot, but for something like this, ultimately is not that many. And for 1,600 of them to exist in the world, or probably less at this point, these things are almost impossible to find. I have been looking for one for years. I think I've seen one pop up outside of these two in the past couple of years, and it went for a pretty crazy price. I was bidding on it, did not get it. I don't want to say how much I paid for this, but I'll put it this way, it was an absolute steal of a price. Well, except for in one way. I purchased this without paying too close of attention to the fact that this particular poster has been trimmed. The tops and edges and a little bit of the bottom has been trimmed off, cutting off the taglines for Scream 1 and 2, and part of the face of the Scream 2 poster, and just a tiny little bit of the space on the Scream 1 poster. It is unfortunate, but this is a real poster. So I'm a little bit sad that I purchased a, I guess you could call it damaged, but still, it's limited edition. They're really hard to come across. It's in good shape. This one's actually in really good shape. And for the number on it, it's only 142 out of 1,600. Now, yet again, a little sad that it's cut, but it is a real Wes Craven signed poster, and whether I decide to keep it as is or get it signed up by every cast and crew member I could meet, I'll be happy with that purchase no matter what. As for the other one, it's actually, I think, 128 out of 1,600, so it's an even lower number than this one. However, a little bit more rough around the edges, not horribly damaged or anything like that, but this one is almost mint condition, I would say, outside of the fact that the edges are trimmed. So yeah, a little bit awkward to have purchased myself the same gift that my father had intended to get me, but whenever he told me the price that he paid for his, I was incredibly surprised that he was able to find one for that price, but also incredibly happy once I put the two of these side by side and realized the damage to this one. Because now, he got me a completely brand new untouched one, and this one, I'm indecisive on what to do with it. I thought about possibly keeping it and just having a second one, getting one of them signed exclusively by Ghostfaces and one of them signed by every actor I could. But after thinking on it more, I think I'm going to actually try and donate this one to charity. I've reached out to Fun World to offer this, as well as a screen-used prop from one of the Scream films, for them to auction it off for charity. If they respond and choose to do it, I would love to. If they want to have it just as is, or if they want to have it signed up by many other cast and crew people, that would be a-okay by me. You know, I almost forgot because I already put it on the shelf, but I did also receive this. Here we have a Ghostface shot glass. This is a new merchandise item. Pretty basic. It has the same Scream 4 image and Ghostface font on the back. Nothing else really to say about it. It's a shot glass. But it is another piece to add to the Ghostface food/drinkware collection, so it'll fit in nicely there. And with that being said, I think that about covers it. I was also gifted a couple of paintings, but I think we'll cover that in another video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know this has been kind of a long, weird, ranty video, but I just wanted to share with you all some of the cool items that I found for myself and was gifted by some amazing friends for Christmas this year. And if you also want to count it as a Christmas gift, for myself, I did manage to find an accurate pair of Work-Right coveralls from the new Halloween films. And I also managed to get them for under $50, so incredible buy, and maybe at some point we'll go ahead and turn these into Myers coveralls, but for now, they're just too damn comfy. Love you all, thank you for watching, I hope everyone had a happy holiday, and I hope this new year treats us all much better. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.